Hey guys, Huzz here bringing you another video. Today is another episode of League Discussion. This is the series where I take a topic, rip it apart with my own opinions, and encourage you guys to join in the discussion in the comment section below. Now today, we're talking about how do you actually improve at League of Legends? How do you become a good player? As this is the most frequent question I get. You know, in private messages, people saying they're in bronze, how do I become gold? I want to be diamond, all this type of thing I get every day. And I'm just going to basically break down how do you improve in my opinion. Now, there are many ways of improving, and we'll be going through some of them, but I just want to kind of say there are several ways of being a good player. You can be a mechanically good player, that you'll be able to do everything. You'll land your skill shots, you'll do the insect kicks if you're playing Lee, you'll be doing all the advanced techniques on your champion you're playing. The problem is, there are other ways as well. Like, a lot of people just focus on being a mechanically skilled player, and they ignore the other ways of being a good player, as in game knowledge. Game knowledge, in my opinion, is arguably the most important out of every single thing in the game. That if you're entering ranked, you should know what every single spell in the game does for every single champion. Now, you don't need to know the name of every spell, but if you ask me, what does, just randomly, what does Darius's E does? Oh, that is the hook that he pulls people in. What does Lux's W does? It's the shield. Every single champion, if you yell out a spell to me, like what's their Q, W, E, or R, I'll know it. And everybody should know that, because if you don't, that's a massive disadvantage if they're on the enemy team. So that is one thing. Game knowledge is very important. So game knowledge of the enemy champions or all the champions in the game. Game knowledge in terms of what is the best item builds right now. What are bad item builds so you avoid them. And then other things like when should I teleport? When should we group? All that is kind of encompassed in game knowledge. And I personally know a lot of people in Diamond that mechanically they're not great. Mechanically they might be a gold or a platinum player level, but their game knowledge is so good that they just win games because of it. And don't kind of put a downer on game knowledge. Trust me, it's very important. So you've got mechanical, you've got game knowledge, and then the final one is attitude. If you're a very good attitude player, as in you are not somebody that flames, you're not somebody who's toxic, you're not or you encourage people, you'll actually find that you win more games. And that, in effect, makes you a better League of Legends player. Hey, the more games you win, the better you are, in theory. So if you have a good attitude that you help your team in solo queue win the game, that's a good thing too. And that's why I will never, ever, ever promote flaming, being toxic, or any of that type of thing. There's a difference between being toxic and being a bit salty. Saltiness, just to kind of say, is that you only are in the game. You only like, oh, why did they do that? Or what are you doing? That's being a bit salty, and I'll put my hands up and say, occasionally, I'll get salty. Because, the game means a lot to me. I want to be high rated, and if someone costs me the game, I'm like a little bit frustrated. And that's saltiness. Being toxic is taking it way too far in terms of offending them, in terms of basically taking out the video game and just insulting them in real life, calling them every name under the sun, and in certain cases, which in my opinion, should be an instant ban, is the people that say get a certain disease of some kind. Like, what type of person are you? Like, what type of person are you if you say that to people? Like, I just don't get it through my head. So there are the three main ways you can be a good player. So again, mechanically, game knowledge, and finally attitude. If you master all three of them, hey, you're probably going to be high diamond, maybe even challenger one day. So work on them three. Now the thing is, how do you work on them three? So mechanically, and this is the big thing that a lot of people are going to say, huh? Don't watch YouTube videos to become a mechanically better player. Mechanical skill comes in terms of your fingers and everything touching your mouse and your keyboard. I cannot teach you how to do that. That is you. That is you playing the game in order to get better at that specific thing. So if you're somebody that only watches YouTube videos, you spam watch everything, but you don't really play much and you still want to be high rated, in my opinion, don't watch as many YouTube videos and play the game more, because that will probably help you become a mechanically better player. No matter what YouTubers say, we cannot help you become a mechanically skilled player. We can show you techniques, we can show you how to do an insect kick, but if you don't have the mechanical skill to pull it off, we can't help you with that. That's what on you. Next one, game knowledge. Game knowledge is game knowledge and attitude are pretty easy in order to learn. Game knowledge is as simple as researching, looking up things. If you're unsure about a champion, go on their wiki page and read about that champion. It's watching LCS, looking at what the strong picks are. Go on probuilds.net and see what the current item builds are. Just research. It can take 10 minutes a day and your game knowledge will improve a lot. Now, I always say if you're picking up a new champion, if you like the look of the champion, go on a guide website, or I'd actually recommend probuilds.net the most, because you just type in the champion and you see what professionals are doing on that champion. You see their runes, masteries, and item build, and skill order. Like, what do they level up? And that is really, really important when you want to kind of learn a new champion, or if you're against a different champion, just to kind of understand what they do. So again, game knowledge is simply just researching, which the majority of people in League of Legends do not do. And again, 10 minutes a day could probably make you a much better player in terms of game knowledge. And then finally, attitude. Attitude is my opinion of the easiest one in order to be good at. It doesn't take a lot, in my opinion, to be a nice person. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm naive, but I'm somebody that I'm playing a video game, okay? I am not there to make someone's day worse. I am only there to play a video game. Now, it is a bit different from me than you guys at home, is that the reason where I may get a bit salty every now and then is because I know I have thousands of people watching me, trying to learn the game from me, and I want to be as high rated as possible to kind of show, hey, I can do it, so like, you know, listen to my advice because it's trustworthy. So if someone is costing me a game, I'm like, God damn, this guy is like making me lower rated, so then people will trust my opinion less. It's probably a silly thing to think, but that is my thought process. For you guys at home, that if you're in the unranked to even gold rating, even platinum, even diamond, I don't see the point in being toxic. Like, again, maybe I'm naive, but the game, if it doesn't mean that much to you, yes, it's a video game, and if you're not making money from it, you should just be having fun. You should just be enjoying yourself. And in my opinion, if you're being toxic to people, you're not enjoying yourself. You can't be, because you're that angry that you're just insulting people instead of playing the game. So attitude, in my opinion, is just realizing if you're a toxic player, just try to fix it, because it's never a good thing. Toxic people lose more games than positive players. That's been proven statistically by Riot. And yeah, just be a nice person. Honestly, it's that easy. You know, again, it's okay to be a little bit salty. It's fine. If you're doing really well in your lane and you lose the game because of somebody else, you can be frustrated. That is completely fine. If you go it becomes toxic if you take the game out of it and just start offending them. Or if you, like, when I'm a bit salty, I may say a couple things throughout the whole game, like 2 or 3 things in chat. I hardly type. The thing I do to get it off my chest is I say it out loud, because even if I'm streaming, it may sound like I'm being salty, but my teammates have no idea what I'm saying out loud, so in effect, it doesn't affect them. It just gets it off my chest. And that's probably the easiest thing to do at home. If you find that you're somebody that has to type to people, either mute people so you don't, or just say it out loud so you don't need to type it. It's that simple. So they are kind of the main ways to improve. Honestly, again, just you become a mechanically good player by playing League of Legends. Game knowledge is as simple as researching. Game knowledge is watching YouTube videos and streams and all that type of thing. And then finally, attitude. And you can fix your attitude. Like, if you're a toxic player right now, you can fix it like that. Like, literally like that. If you just realize that you're actually toxic. Because the majority of people in League of Legends deny that they're toxic, even if they are. I think a lot of people just need a wake-up call in themselves and go, hang on, I am toxic. This is causing me to lose more games. I'm just going to cut it out. And it's as simple as that, in my opinion. So that's pretty much it. Thought I'd just do this little topic before the updated How I Got Diamond video. That's kind of my 2 cents on the topic. If you guys have other ways of improving, feel free to discuss them in the comments section below. I will be down there, you know, talking to people, agreeing with them, disagreeing with them, adding to points. And that's pretty much it. So if you like the video, put a like on it, subscribe if you haven't, and you can always ask for different topics, as I will probably be doing these once a week or so. So again, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. So, goodbye.